6 inquiries
no special, antisocial behaviour,
making complaints of
nationwide UK,
noise, harassment, threats.
video UK 25.
And the problem with antisocial behaviour is it's so persistent. It's ongoing. So
I got attacked by 2 people on the canal last year. Antisocial behaviour.
In their home, where they
First they punched me in the
should feel comfortable, where they could get away
stomach. Second time they pushed me in the canal.
There's no escape because you're very.
And I'm trying to go down that canal now. I've got a body camera.
Devastating for people.
It's disgusting that the police don't do anything about it.
They did everything they could.
But not enough.
I mean, like Ben said,
it's not enough. They're not doing enough.
Us because they were just at the end of their tether. They had reams of reports. What's going on in terms of them being not acknowledged or not actioned?
Unfortunately, it's something that we hear a lot. People who are experiencing this kind of ongoing behaviour, reaching out to the statutory agencies for help and meeting more and more obstacles along the way. There is a tool called the ASB Case Review that was launched as part of the ASB Crime and Policing Act in 2014. So we're talking 11 years.
That's not enough.
For victims of antisocial behaviour. And last year we found that still 83% of people weren't aware of its existence.
I'm petrified to go down that canal now.
There's this real lack of publicity around
the
support and help that's available.
Even though in that case they'd managed to get video evidence, time coded, so we knew when it was happening, logs of all sorts of correspondence that they'd had with the relevant authorities, and still nothing was done. I mean, what hope is there if they're so organised in trying to deal with it that you need to have that sort of information to take it to the authorities?
Absolutely, yeah. We would always encourage victims to document everything.
That's what I'm doing now. I've got a camera.
I'm not saying that
they're filming me now. They're filming me now.
You really need to be able to demonstrate
and other people, including children. That's bad. On the canal. I'm not joking.
Hopefully, help those agencies to come forward and take that proactive problem-solving approach.
So, what's their excuse for not? Because there's that we went into that film saying.
We had a knock at the door, had a word with them, and give them a warning. It's all the police need to do. They're ridiculous.
There is a real almost.
And wait until there's a stabbing or a murder.
Where antisocial behaviour is dismissed as trivial. As Baroness Newlove said,
they never do something more seriously. Useless.
People are looking at inadequate risk assessments and not regular enough risk assessments, because certainly with ASB, something that is traumatic at the start, once you've been experiencing it for 12 months, that risk has greatly increased, even if the behaviour is constant.
That's my atomic
time
not.
Needs to be some more training, more experience being introduced.
And what about the protection in terms of, like, when this woman, who was convicted, came back? What about?
Yeah, that's disgusting.
That is the fear, isn't it?
It doesn't stop them.
You don't want to escalate a problem, and then it did escalate, even though they'd obviously gone down the route.
It's ridiculous.
Starting saying, look, can you turn the music down, or you're affecting our sleep. And lost his job.
But like my flatmate years ago, he was not listening, was he? Landlord was useless.
Having seen what action has been taken.
But it's that feeling, isn't it, of that return?
Absolutely, and there are tools and powers available to protect victims, such as Ben and Emma. But what I would say is
it's not great.
Support available to them.
It's not good enough.
The fact that they cannot access victim support until it meets that criminal threshold that they're experiencing is really, it's just not fair at all.
What powers do the authorities have to act here? Because again, it strikes me looking at that example, and it's just one example.
Hopeless, really.
Others, and it will depend.
It's too slow, too long.
Case. But what can the authorities do about it? Can they take people away from situations like that?
Yeah, I mean, there are tools available to remove people from their own homes if it is deemed by a court that is the appropriate action in terms of risk and protection.
Where do they go? I mean, do they just create a problem for someone else?
Absolutely, we're moving the problem. Yeah. So we would potentially be looking at temporary accommodation.
Oh, it's not going to. It just puts it somewhere else. Simple as that.
It depends on their support system, and we obviously need to consider vulnerabilities as well, because often these perpetrators do have needs themselves that need to be addressed, and some support for them would help mitigate the behaviour. So it's difficult. What do we do? But there are tools and powers available, and unfortunately, we're just not seeing them being used effectively enough.
It's really interesting. Something we'll talk about again, I'm sure. But Charlie, thank you.
No,
Thanks for
coming. It's affected my life.
Thank you.
Like you, please do more
It's 20 minutes
in the future. The whole thing's corrupt. Please subscribe to Side Jibs, my friend Sparky and Jimbo every Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. ITF Things, Soul Hill Radio Station Show. Listen to my friend Shane Libraries in the Loop every Friday, 10 to 12 p.m. Soul Hill Radio Show every Friday. That's my friend John and Lars Show every Sunday at 9 to 12 p.m. live on the Woken Show and Lars Show every Sunday. These are pretty horrible times. Not very pleasant at all for people in the UK. Just getting worse every year. You're becoming the policeman. We're all becoming the policeman. It's ridiculous. Please squash on sign, Gemma.